there are a lot of people here. It's weird. I've never been on stage when there are lights coming at you. It's just like dark, but you know people are there.
No, maybe they're not.
Better.
All right, so, okay, just to start, just so we know people are out there, I'll count to 3, and then everyone, if you want,
No.
so you don't have to do this if you don't want to, say the room or drawer or place in your house that needs organization. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Well, you came to the right place. Yeah. Okay, so I'm sure everyone has fallen in love with the home edit and these women in the same way that I have by not only seeing the pretty pictures on their Instagram feed, but also the hilarious stories of behind the scenes. And I read somewhere that I think you, Joanna, had described it as like the mullet philosophy of a business, where it's like beautiful in the front and then like a crazy party in back.
I'm not sure it's a party.
It's not a party. It's more like a mess in the back.
Yeah.
You know, the back of house is a mess.
Yeah, fair enough. So can you tell us a little bit about like when you started doing stories?
Okay.
Clea, this is you.
Yes. So we started doing stories because we hate flying, and it turned out we had to fly a lot for work. And so, I don't know, one day we were like, what if we just told people
You just
what
came
we're
out
really
with crazy.
like? Yeah,
right?
like what if we just come out with it
Right.
and let everyone see who they're really dealing with? And it turned out, I think that we made people feel normal because we were like such lunatics, especially like flying in particular. We met in Dallas at a conference right after we had gotten off a plane, a particularly rough one. And that was like your first interaction with us was like seeing, like you probably went back to your hotel room and opened it up and you're like, oh, like these are my new friends. But yeah, we take a lot of Xanax and do stories.
Well, we also realized at that conference, we got there and it was like this conference of influencers and everyone was like a beauty blogger or a fashion blogger.
We were the only non-beauty blogger,
Right.
fashion blogger.
And we were so afraid that people thought we were so pretty and like fashion
Yeah.
forward. So we just kept announcing that we know we're not beauty
kept
bloggers.
telling people we're like we don't know anything about any of this. Like we're just the home people. Like we're like
we're
home-
organizers.
We're
Like,
organizers.
just don't look at this.
Yeah.
You know?
We just like to come out with it right away.
You did say that as soon as we sat down.
Yeah.
at
Yes,
lunch,
as
they
soon
were
as
like,
we sat down.
We're the organizers.
Yeah.
And I thought you actually meant of the conference, and I was like, great.
It would have been fine had you thought that.
Yeah.
We just didn't want people to be like, wait, like what fashion blog did they write?
Right.
You know?
Like, you guys think you're the pretty ones?
Yeah.
No. We just needed it to be clear.
Yeah.
So, I mean, through your business and all the time that you guys spend together, it's like, I know, well, your husband is here tonight.
Somewhere.
Where is
taking
he? No, just
photos,
kidding. I
probably.
won't make you do that. But like, you guys actually have a marriage together in a lot of ways, right? I mean,
Oh, we have more bank accounts together than we do with our husband.
We do. We're just way more fun to spend money with.
Yeah, turns out it's way more fun when we hang out and go shopping than with our husbands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're work wives.
Yeah.
We're spouses of a certain degree.
do you feel like you know each other so well?
Oh.
You don't even know. Okay, let's put it this way. Not only do Joanna and I like work together all the time, but we travel together endlessly.
Right.
So that's like 24 hours a day, and we share hotel rooms. It's like weird.
Well, and
But-
when we're working, we're like in a pantry that's like one by one.
Right. So we're like standing shoulder to shoulder.
And
most
we're
of
like,
the
if you could
day.
just move out of the way. And she's like, no, this
No.
is where I belong.
There's nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
So we know, we're together so much, but even like last year, I think we stayed at my parents' house. You stayed with my mother for like 2
Yes,
months of the year.
I did.
I mean, that's how crazy it is. It's not just even how much we spend together. It's like
Everybody in your
is,
life.
And then we don't get sick of each other, which is the bizarrest piece of it all. Like, we land after like 6 weeks together and we're like, so you want to go to dinner?
Yeah. It's true. We don't have many friends.
Yeah, I saw on Instagram stories last night, you obviously were going to share a hotel room with your husband, and you guys were like, see you in the morning.
It was
like,
really
so
sad.
devastating.
No, it was kind of sad. And my husband is home with my sick children. He was supposed to be here.
Yeah.
So,
All alone.
You're probably going to stay in our room tonight.
possible. It's totally
Or with
possible.
my mom.
Right.
Oh.
Or my mom, because she's actually, I'm seeing
right.
her. Yeah.
That's right. Your mom's here too.
Right.
It's usually just my mom.
Right.
So why do you share a room?
Like, why wouldn't you? It's so fun.
Wait, there are 2 reasons for this. There are 2 reasons. For real, there are 2 reasons. Okay.
I'd like to know the reason.
Okay, here they are. So first Joanna and I realized very early on that we are hotel snobs to like the nth degree. We rather stay at the nicest hotel in any city.
And pool our money.
And share a room.
And we like to tell that to our business manager all the time.
Yes, no one,
We're pooling our money. We're pooling it.
I feel like no one gives us that proper credit,
Right.
but we are very proud of ourselves for that fact. We feel like it's so economical, but also we tried to stay separately once and we were very bored and ended up in each other's room until it was time to go to bed. And then we were like, what, like, why?
Right.
Right. What's the point?
And we have a system, you know what I mean?
You have a system.
We have a system. We also are like so close that like if I don't want to talk to her, I just tell her to be quiet, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's not like
That's a marriage.
Yeah.
Because I'm the,
It's a marriage,
yeah,
right? It's like
yeah.
you're never like, you're never like telling your husband to just go away. You just like don't talk.
Right. Just like stop talking.
Right.
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot more I could say on that, but I won't.
And that's what we do.
So I read an article years ago, although it's been surfacing a little bit recently, about how clutter in the home makes women's cortisol levels rise and feel more stressed, partly because you know you're going to be the one who has to deal with it. I mean, like more than men usually.
Don't tell our husbands that. They are, in charge of the house.
We are very
We
fortunate.
organize it, but they have to do everything else, literally.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We lucked out.
You can talk to John, he'll give you tips.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very good.
John, come on.
I know.
So what would you say are some of your top tips if somebody just wants to get started?
Start small.
Yes. It happens all the time where, you're like, I'm just gonna redo my closet. And then you pull everything out and then you're so panicked and freaked out and paralyzed and you're just like surrounded by jeans that don't fit you and you're like, I don't know what to do. So you just like throw it all back in and never do it again. So if you start with something really small, like a single drawer, like it can be a closet drawer, a bathroom drawer, a kitchen drawer, whatever it is. Like if you see the process through from start to finish, you like get your motivation, you get your sea legs, and you can move on. But like if you just start big, it's not a good situation.
Yeah, it's too much.
So overwhelming. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like a favorite room in the house that you like to organize?
Ooh, pantries.
Pantry.
So fun.
Like a 100% pantry.
It's so
What's
fun.
so great about it?
Everything.
Everything. It's like this crazy jigsaw puzzle. And by the way, pantry is the hardest place.
Right, don't start there.
Don't ever start with the pantry.
Yeah.
Unless your pantry's like a cabinet. I mean, this is New York, so I guess that, right. Not everyone has like big walk-in pantries, but it's just like, it's this jigsaw puzzle and you take everything
It's a
out.
Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a black diamond organizing, situation. But
Really fun.
it's so fun.
I mean, we're weird.
I know it. I love it. Love it. We would always pick a pantry any day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then do you have like stores you'd recommend going to, or like if somebody's going to do their pantry and they really want to do it this weekend?
The Container Store. I mean, like obviously, like let's be honest here.
They have everything.
They have everything.
And
Like,
you
what
need
are
you need
gonna-
the bulk quantity, which
I
is
think
what they
people
have.
like when you end up going to like a Home Goods or something, and you end up with like a bin here and a bin there, and then you have like a bleh, It's just like I feel like that's like where everything goes like awry. Like I feel like when you just have like a hodgepodge of like a wicker basket and then like an industrial metal thing you found at Target, and then it's just like everything is ugly and bad. And then you have to call us. So just go where you need to go. Everyone knows where they, go to the Container Store, go to the aisle, and
Buy extra product
15
and then return
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's the way to do it.
Buy extra and then return the extras.
That's
Buy
a good
over.
tip.
You do not want to have to go out midway through.
Yeah.
That will stop you in your tracks.
Yeah.
Well, it's also a matter of like maintaining. Like when I see your Instagram photos, I'm like, it looks so beautiful. I would love to have the like Mandy Moore pantry. But then once you started getting like another box of cereal or like ran out of granola or something, it's like would all go.
No, actually, we have systems in place for that specific situation. So when we organize, it's very important. Again, don't like start doing this tomorrow. It's like you're not gonna do it right, but like it takes time. But the thing is, you have to like organize not as a snapshot in time, but for create systems that make sense on your general day-to-day. So if you're a family that likes a lot of cereal, don't just have like 3 canisters and that's your cereal allotment. Like you need to have a bin labeled breakfast where extra cereal boxes can go, or a backstock bin where when you go to the grocery store, that's where it goes. Like you have to like think beyond.
And for your
that
family
moment.
specifically.
Right.
I mean, if you're not the type that wants to come home and dump every single cereal into a canister, don't set yourself up for failure.
Right.
Just have a bin sets for cereal or breakfast.
And for people who don't have endless space, like in New York, you just have to commit to being like, this is the amount of space I have to work with. Like, I'm not going to Costco and buying cereal. You know what I mean? Like, you have to like, one in, one out. You know, finish your cereal, get some more. Like, anyway. But it's setting up systems for the specific people in the specific house. I get so angry on Instagram when people are like, it's so pretty, but it's not realistic. I was like, don't tell me that. You don't know, you didn't do it. I get very cranky about that.
Although I have to say, I laughed so much in your book when you're like, there was a part, it's like, how to keep your entry looking picture perfect. Tip number 1, live alone.
It's a great tip. It's a great tip.
Great tip.
Yeah, I'm always
No
like
children.
trying to convince, you know, like my kids, I literally gave them, Joanna did too, like the top floor of our house.
Right.
Like we're like, this is where you live, and we live downstairs.
We live in it like a duplex, but like a top and bottom level,
Yeah.
and like our kids live upstairs.
Right, they're like, they're the playroom, their kids, everything's
set them
upstairs.
up really well.
We set them up,
Yeah.
but they want to be with us. So they're like always downstairs, and we're like, you have a couch upstairs. But they don't want to like be with us to hang out, they just want to like watch some TV show I don't want to watch. So like do that on a couch upstairs.
Yeah.
Anyway, so turns out it's hard to live alone if you have a family. But it's a great tip.
So Joanna, I know you've talked a bit too about the low bar lifestyle.
Yes.
Can you like walk us through it a little bit?
Yeah, it's the way to walk through life. It's if you can't you don't want to set the bar so high that you're gonna fail at all times. So you just set it super low.
On the floor.
Yeah. Right, like you dropped your kids off at school on time, like you get a check mark for that.
That's a win.
Yeah, like why doesn't anybody get credit for that? That's
So it's not
major.
just organizing, it's like all
no,
parts of
no,
life.
it's across the board.
No, we actually, organizing the bar is like kind of high for us. It's the only thing, trust me, that, you know, we're like extremely high standards with organizing.
Yeah.
But everything else, like, I mean, if you make it to any, like the book fair, you know, like you remembered a permission slip, whatever it is, it doesn't
You
matter.
bought a box of Girl Scout cookies.
Right.
Like, that's amazing.
And then you did it.
Right.
Yeah, I know in the book there were a couple, it was like, a pizza is kind of a salad without lettuce.
Yeah.
It's like kind of, it has
also a good tip.
tomatoes.
Right.
Yeah, it has all the pieces.
Yeah.
Right, we're good
Especially a veggie one.
We are so good at justifying anything.
Anything.
Like whatever it needs, like we just call each other.
You know what? Even in organizing, actually, like we always call it, like we have to like litigate everything we're doing.
Right.
So we're like, okay, I want to put this here. Let me like sell you this argument and tell me if like this works for you. And sometimes we like turn each other down. We're like, no, back to the drawing board. But like, if we can sell it, you know, if we can be like, I think these two things belong
we just
together.
sound worse and worse
I
and
know.
more crazy as we
I
go
know.
on.
We shouldn't have written a book. Yeah, no, but this is our process. Like,
Yeah.
it has to make sense.
It has to
and
make sense.
If it makes sense in your mind, like maybe that's not good enough. Like you need to like double check with someone else.
Right.
You know?
It
Like
makes
maybe you're
sense.
trying to like make it work when it shouldn't be.
Right, and you can't. We really have to litigate it, like truthfully. Like it sounds like so weird, but we have to.
Yeah.
And it turns out we're like very honest. So it's like Joanna will be like, "What did you think of this?" I'm like, "That is the worst idea anyone's ever had." She once was so desperate in a
All right,
closet.
thank you.
No.
All right.
She suggested doing a turntable of handbags.
I
and
was
like,
desperate, Clea.
desperate, and I was like, "You should resign."
Like
I
a
know.
lazy Susan?
Yeah, but like it doesn't make any
It
sense.
didn't make sense.
didn't
It
make
had been
sense.
a long day.
We
It was
just-
the hardest job I've ever been on.
It's true.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how you guys started working together.
Like how we met? Okay, I'll do this. So I first moved to Nashville in May of 2015. And when I moved there, I did not know a single solitary person. I had one friend in LA who was like, "Oh, I have a cousin named Laurel," or something. I was like, "Great, like I'll call it cousin Laurel." But like I like didn't know anyone. And so like actually Laurel is a good friend now. Laurel's great. But anyway, but I didn't know that she was gonna be great, and I didn't know what to do. And I was like, and I didn't have a job, and like we just moved there for my husband's job, and I was like, what the hell did I move to Nashville for? And I ended up meeting someone on Instagram, because like that's where adults go to make friends now. And so we like had a coffee date, and I told her that I really wanted to start an organizing company in Nashville. And she was like, oh my God, this is perfect. I have a friend who moved from San Francisco. She had an organizing business and she's gonna re-up it in Nashville. You guys should totally do this together. And I was like, that sounds amazing, because I'm like a friendly person who likes people, and Joanna is not a person who likes to make friends.
I do like friends. I'm just exhausted.
Her motto is literally no new friends. Just
No
gonna tell
new
you that.
friends.
That is true.
I'm just tired and older than you.
It's
That's
true.
all.
That is also true. So Joanna's much older. So I was like, look, like, let's go to lunch, let's hang out. And Joanna was like, she's so freaking stubborn. She was like, that's fine, like, I'll go to lunch with her, but like, definitely not working with her. I like did this by myself. I like don't need a business partner. And it's weird because I feel like that's more my personality to like be like that. But
Right, you're the grouch.
But
I'm the nice
But
one.
I'm actually the nice one, it turns out. It's very strange and it weirds people out that I'm the nice one, but I am. So we end up going to lunch and we never once asked each other if we ever wanted to work together, but after 4 hours, we got up as business partners and we never like double checked, like, do you want to? But we just
Wow.
kept moving. And so that night, we set up our website, we got our domain, our social handles, we came up with the name, designed our logo, started filing our paperwork. This was all before 8 p.m. Like it was,
Wow.
Yeah, it was the
we
same
went
day.
into business the same day. We did not Google each other. We did not check Facebook. We literally, again, ill-advised, but it worked.
Did you just feel like a chemist?
Yeah,
Yes.
we did.
You just knew.
We just
Yeah.
knew. We just knew. Again, like, this is not business advice, but it worked. And so we just started business that day. We started like working for like some friends and family and neighbors, and then work begets work. So we just hit the ground running. Never looked
Did
back.
you have backup names?
Oh, for our business?
For, like,
For the home edit?
Yeah, that you were just, like,
100% no.
brainstorming?
No.
we had to figure
We
this
were
out.
Yeah.
so serious about this, and our lawyer at the time, I will never forget this, he was like, it's easier to trademark things. We are trademarked, by the way, now. It's easier to trademark
Joe
things.
Clea.
Like Kodak, which is like a made-up name. That's what he told us.
Right,
He's like,
right.
if you called yourselves like Clea Joe or Joe Clea, and we like literally fired him. And we were like, that is the worst
Joe
advice
Clea is
anyone's
the
ever
worst
given
name.
us. And like, no, we were so clear. We went through thinking about like what kinds of words we want to use. We didn't like the word organizing in like the name of our brand. We wanted to be short and succinct and chic, and we didn't like all the other words to describe what we did, but we really liked the word edit, and it just worked with home. And we also were like very pleased with ourselves that the acronym was the. We were like, think about the merch, like not merch, but like our own shirts.
Right,
You know
our
what I mean?
own shirts.
Like think of like we were thinking about merch at that point. But you know what I mean? Like think about like the blog, like the what, like we can use it for everything. We were just very pleased with
We were
ourselves.
very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So pleased with yourselves. Well, it's even in the book. It's like the way to.
I know.
Yeah.
We doubled down on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were really pioneers in our own time with this. We didn't know how pleased we were going to be, but we
We don't have many talents, so this is like we have to be pleased where we can be.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
this is it.
So what's like the weirdest thing you've organized, or the hardest job, or the craziest
Is this
job?
taped?
It's like taped so many different ways.
All right.
Hardest
well, then I
job?
can't. Wait. Weirdest thing we found, or hardest job? Because I can't. answer
Either of those. Just something weird.
Hardest job was a closet where the client.
Where Joanna tried to put a turntable on my bags.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. The client did not want to get rid of a single thing, which is fine, but she was also filled literally to the max. And so we're always looking like on the hunt for negative space, which is how it works. Like you're like, oh, you're not using the top, you're not using the bottom, you're not using the sides. It was shoved so much that there was nowhere to go.
You know how like a hoarder has like stuff from like the floor to the ceiling, and it's like, okay, aside from getting rid of things, like thinning out, like what do I do with this? I mean, it was like a very expensive hoarder. Like it wasn't like a hoarder, but it was like Chanel and Balenciaga. But
Right,
it still,
like who are we to tell you to get rid of your stuff?
Right, I was
We
also
weren't
like,
gonna try.
I get it. Like this is like really lovely stuff, but like it was very, very hard. There was also.
I also got fallen on by an employee with a broken foot on that job too.
That's right.
Right.
That
So
was
give me a
hard.
little credit for the
That was
turntable.
hard.
Right.
Yeah, like a lot of things are hard, and we find a lot of weird things, as you can imagine, and never know what they are until we're like fondling them, and then
Right.
we're like,
Right. Or they're like
Always.
fingernail clippings in a drawer.
that's disgusting.
Like children's teeth.
Oh, always. Joanna
yeah.
lost one down a drain. That was terrible. That was actually, I think, the worst moment we've had in business.
Yeah.
Joanna literally lost a woman's, like a baby tooth down a drain.
Did.
And we almost threw up and moved to Mexico. We were just like, that's it, business over. And there were 3 baby teeth and 3 kids.
Right.
And I was like, you don't even know which kid. I mean, it was awful.
No, then she didn't even know. Then she's like, oh, it's just, they had a lot of teeth. I kept them all.
Yeah.
So there were
She's
like
like,
other
"Oh, I
ones
don't
going
care."
around. So it's like,
Yeah. It was like a false alarm, like she didn't care, but we've never lost or broken anything.
Ever.
Ever. So a body part, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't get back.
Right.
Terrible.
Okay, so you've done a lot of famous people's organizing.
Yes.
Who did you like fangirl out most over?
Gwyneth.
Yeah.
In her face. I mean, this isn't like a quiet story.
No, like Gwyneth, okay, all right. So first of all, we just decided to DM Gwyneth Paltrow, and we were like, do you want us to organize your house? That's literally how it happened.
Really?
Yes, that is a real thing. We DM'd her. I'll never forget the
But
moment.
she did follow us already.
She followed us.
There was a chance that she might actually
Right.
see it.
It wasn't, but not that we wouldn't have randomly DM'd her, but she
No.
followed us, so we were like, maybe. Like, she knows who, she might reply at least, or see it, you know? So we just were like, whatever, we're just gonna do it. So we DM'd
And
her.
usually I'm the one that has like these wild hair ideas, and Clea's like, Joanna, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But she was like, yeah,
I was like, let's
do it.
So we did it, and she replied immediately.
Yeah.
And we were like, we're going to Gwyneth Paltrow's house. And so we were like, do you want us there? We're in your driveway. Like, so we go in, and we were there for like days, you know? So the first day she comes in and runs through the house and is like, where are they? Where are they? Runs and finds us, gives us big hugs like we know her. And then she was like, I hope you're taking 1,000,000 photos because we're putting this in Goop. And we screamed in her face.
Right.
And jumped up
and down, both of us.
and screaming and
and
jumping.
screaming and jumping.
She was laughing, thank God, but it was just like, I mean, what else are you supposed to do? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like in that moment.
Like what are you
that
supposed
is-
to do? Be calm?
No. I think it is the proper reaction when, you know what I mean, when you have like an audience with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, right.
And we are just like, look, we're a lot of things, but like cool is not one. So like, if you know what I mean? I think
You know what? It's so much easier. Again, it goes back to the low bar lifestyle.
Right, exactly.
Like, why?
It's just easier to
So much easier
no
to
one
not have
thinks
to be cool.
anything of
Right.
you, You know, it's just better.
100%.
Yeah.
But I think
So much
Gwyneth
easier not to have to be cool.
Probably
Yes.
the craziest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think
That
of-
was pretty crazy.
Yeah. And maybe Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
She's incredible. She's incredible.
Kanye West was also interesting. I mean, that just, you know what I mean? Like sometimes there are people that are just beyond famous. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That are
right.
like, you're like in this moment where you're like, this is a very surreal situation.
Don't people always look smaller? I just remember seeing Renee Zellweger at an airport, and she just like in the normal check-in, but she just looked, they look just tinier.
Right.
Just
yeah,
'cause
they're
it's
also
like
like
they're-
very pretty. You know, like
Yeah.
there are a lot of people, it's just like,
Yeah, and you're like, why are you so pretty?
Right.
Like,
I think you said
Yeah.
that to Gwyneth. I think
probably
you said
did.
that to her.
Probably in the jumping and screaming
Yeah,
part.
she is very pretty.
Yeah,
That's
she's really
warranted.
pretty. Yeah.
And it's funny because you're not just seeing a celebrity at an airport or like in a restaurant or something. It's like you see them in this really intimate way.
You're like in their underwear drawer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I remember, Joanna, you had said it's the most personal job aside from being a gynecologist.
Yeah.
You said that?
Maybe.
Somewhere. It was quoted.
I feel like that's like not like, that's like gross. That's
I
not
might have
like
said
you.
that.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. It is
do you have
very
a-
personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have like a dream client? Just like
Oh yes, we have a list in case anyone has any connections. I mean, some of this goes without saying. Like, of course, we want to do like Michelle Obama and like Oprah. We want a royal so badly. So like any like Kate Middleton,
Yeah.
would be excellent.
Yeah.
Who else is like high on our list? I feel like we have. I feel like it's
Those are a
pretty.
good list.
That's like I would say like that's like top.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else we want? Just in case anyone.
Rachel Maddow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we have like a growing list.
Yeah.
I also really like Chrissy Teigen. I feel like we'd be
She's
friends.
hilarious. Yeah, you guys would be such good friends.
We think so. Don't you think I should tell her?
I really
I
think
know.
that.
We think that.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you think that too.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so just a couple more like tippy things. So what if you do have a small space and you're like, do you have any just general small space tips?
I mean, honestly, you have to just respect the amount of space you have. So I don't care if you live in a 20,000 square foot house or a 200 square foot studio. You really need to keep your space, however big it is or small, up to 80% max in fullness. You cannot 100% max out your space no matter what. Everyone has to follow that rule. We always say it's like eating. Like no one's comfortable at 100% full. So like if you get it to an 80%, like you still have room to grow, you know? And if you have a really small place, short of moving, you know?
And we always say too, you either get the item or the space. So you have to decide which is more important. Do you want the breathing room or do you want that dress, you know?
Right. That's a really good tip, 80%, okay.
Yeah.
So you've done a TV show, you have your book. You are in this very happy marriage.
We are happily married to multiple people. I mean, our husbands too. Yeah.
Do you what's next?
Oh God. All right. Well, we're launching our New York team, who's here somewhere. We're launching New York April 1st, which is very exciting.
Yeah, very exciting.
Awesome.
Yes,
Yay!
very excited.
New York, woo!
We actually have some stuff that no one knows about, so I guess we can tell you here. Literally not a single person, this was embargoed, but we're so excited. We have a
Maybe your mom.
Okay, and our husbands. But anyway, point being, we have a product line coming out that is gonna be with Inner Design, a company that we love, and it's gonna be exclusively at the Container Store. So that is starting
in May.
And
That's
we're
amazing.
very excited.
Yeah, we're very excited.
Congratulations! Woo!
Very
excited.
Is it color? Is it rainbow?
We are not at liberty to discuss what it's going to be,
Okay.
but it is amazing. It's incredible. This partnership has been amazing because they were like, just design, like dream it up and we'll make it. And
No, they're like
did.
magicians.
They literally did.
No, you like say it and then all of a
And
sudden
then
it
they,
comes
you
into like
get,
3D
like, a
form.
sample.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
This will also come with an extensive line of labels for everything, which is very exciting.
With the beautiful.
Yes.
Oh,
I
amazing.
turned my handwriting finally into a font, so to save my wrist. I used to label by hand literally for 3 years, so we finally became smart. And we also decided, because we have like nothing else to do, that we were going to also open up Houston, Dallas, and Chicago in the fall. So yeah, so we're gonna.
Yeah, we'll figure out how that goes.
That's amazing. Crazy.
And we're working on season 2 of we're working on show stuff too. So it's busy.
Okay, so in the in the last 5 minutes before we open it up to audience questions, I want to do a lightning round to see how well you guys really know each other.
God.
We are excellent.
Yeah, they said they're good.
Don't say
backstage.
that until we're done.
I know
We'll
I'm
see.
excellent at this.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to ask you about each other, obviously.
Okay.
So what is Joanna's favorite candy?
That is like picking children for her. Okay. She loves. Swedish Fish, Dots. I mean, that's like a gummy. She loves a gummy. I mean, tell me I'm not right.
No, you're correct.
I'm 100% correct.
Loves a gummy.
She bought 3 boxes of Dots for the plane ride and ate 2 boxes before we
no,
took off.
I only ate 1.
You told me you finished 2.
No, I didn't. No, not then.
Oh, then.
Prior.
Prior. Sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, I did excellent. Go ahead. It's your turn.
Okay, what is Clea's guilty pleasure?
Champagne.
I don't feel guilty about it. That's like not even a fair question because I proudly feel everything. I have no guilty pleasures. But sure, champagne.
She doesn't have any guilty pleasures.
No, I have no guilt in my life.
That's another good takeaway. Each other, what's your celebrity crush? What's the other person's celebrity crush?
Oh, wait, I actually did so sad, but it was Luke Perry for her.
I know, isn't that sad?
No, it just came out that it was Luke Perry.
And Clea's is Robert Pattinson.
Cool.
It's so true. A friend working on Twilight gave me like a cardboard cutout of Robert Pattinson during Twilight, and my husband was like, under no circumstance are we keeping this in our house. I like lobbied for it, but anyway. At least he's older now. He was very young.
That's very okay, what is Joanna's dream vacation? Like money, no object, weather, no object.
Blackberry Farm in Tennessee, where they just serve like amazing food and hot tea, and she gets to bring 12 business books and sit there under a Did I nail it or did I nail it?
It's correct. Or Vegas.
Or Vegas!
It's like the opposite.
Someone pointed out to me recently, because she's a crazy gambler, which is so not in line in my thinking, but they're like, grandmas love to gamble. And then I was like, then it made sense that they're like, grandmas, like they all board a bus, and they like go to Vegas, and I was
And
like, that's
pull the
right.
slats.
Yeah.
What is Clea's pet peeve?
Oh, she's so many.
Top pet peeve.
Chewing loudly is one.
Fair enough.
That's very big, very big.
She has a lot of sound issues,
I have
things.
that thing, I think.
Misophonia?
Yes.
So do I.
Yeah, I want to kill people.
Yeah, I literally want to like punch them in the face. It's not like I'm grossed out. It's like I'm like murderously
enraged.
full of rage. Yeah.
Like I'm like honestly worried that at some point I'm gonna snap and I'm gonna murder someone.
Yeah.
Cool.
My
I'm glad
husband
I
always like,
share a room with you
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah.
at the end of the day, because it gets worse, like, don't you think, if you're like sort
100%.
of stressed and your head is full, my husband will like put his cup down on the table. He's just like,
Right.
I'm like, oh.
I get
so
very
sweet. And crazy.
rageful.
Yeah. What is Joanna's desert island beauty product?
Joanna just started washing her face with soap like a year ago because she thought soap was a scam. So like she doesn't have a desert. It's like chapstick. Like she literally thought soap was a scam.
I did for like most of my life.
What was the scam?
It made you buy more soap.
She
It's like a disappearing bar of
she just
nothing.
like didn't believe.
I washed myself and my body. I just thought face soap was a scam.
So she didn't wash her face.
I used water.
Did it worked?
She had
I mean, a beautiful
skin.
skin.
I don't know, but again, it's like
Maybe it is a scam.
I know. It might be.
I don't.
Oh, you heard it first.
So yeah, chapstick.
Okay, and then this is the last one for both of you, and you can just answer this, I guess, or for each other. What career would you have had if not this one?
Wait, I know this is the best. I'll tell you what Joanna wanted to be, if she could, which she couldn't. She wanted to be a sessions singer.
No, actually, this is not true. Because I wanted to own hotels.
That's the other one. But you said if you could.
Oh,
that was like the realistic
if I was
own hotels.
talented in that way.
If she was talented,
musician.
but she didn't want to be a singer on stage. She wanted to be a sessions singer, which I don't even like 100% know what that means. But
Just not on stage.
right, like in a
What is it?
Just part of the band, but not
Like a
necessarily
backup
on.
vocal.
But if you can change that you have an amazing voice, why don't you just change that you're not scared
but
of
she didn't-
public singing?
I just don't like sitting in public.
She just came out with it one day and was like, I'd be like a sessions singer. And I was like, but I had so many questions, I just stopped. I was like, okay. But she did want to own hotels, which I love that one.
Yeah, you could, now you've stayed in so many, you'd know all the
We
things.
want the home edit hotel, don't worry, it's like 2020. We're working on it.
So organized.
Yeah.
What would your job be?
What would I be?
I don't know. We've had this conversation, and I don't seem to remember the answer.
I feel like if I really could do anything, again, it's kind of like being a singer. Like, I don't know that I'd be talented in this way, but
Right.
I want to be like a criminal prosecutor. Like, I want to be like, I want to be like a big time lawyer that's like, I love like arguing with people and being right. And I feel like when you're armed with
And
facts,
being right.
it's such a liberating
being
thing.
right
Yeah,
part.
but I'd want to be like a prosecutor, like, but
Right.
criminals.
Got it.
Yeah, not like divorce law. You know what I mean? That's boring. But I'd want to like do something like I think I'd be excellent at it.
Okay, good. Okay, so we have, there should be microphones on either, it's really hard to see, but there should be microphones on either side. Oh yeah, they're being placed. So if anybody has a question, you're welcome to come to the front. It's really hard to see.
I know, I can't see anything.
Okay.
Oh.
So yeah, oh good, now, yeah, it's much easier now. Ah, crazy, there are a lot of people. So yeah, yes.
Hi. So I know y'all are really big Schitt's Creek fans.
Yes.
Have you reached out to anyone in the cast, like Eugene Levy or?
Oh,
Good idea.
I don't mean to like drop names. Like very good friends now with Dan. No, we're not very good friends.
No, he would not say that.
No, we're not. In my mind, we're very good friends.
In your mind.
But we are very good, like DM
Instagram,
friends.
yeah.
Like we DM all the time, and we do have an event that we're going to be doing in Toronto, and he invited us to the set.
Or we invited ourselves.
No,
not
he
sure.
did.
What?
Invited us to the set, and he also asked us to do his house.
Okay, that's true.
So.
All right, that's true.
Yeah, anyway, yes, TBD. Love them. Oh, and when I met Catherine, Catherine O'Hara, I was so nervous. We were backstage at one of their events. He invited us backstage, and Catherine O'Hara was there, and she was like the one person I could not bring myself. I said to Joanna, like, do you think I can go say hi to her? And Joanna was like, no.
I was like, no.
Like, it's not gonna go well,
Definitely
and you're not
no.
gonna like, no. So I cut myself off.
Yeah.
She's really amazing. Sorry, is there? Nope. No, okay, yes.
So thank you all for being here. I actually learned about the home edit through the show Vlogs.
All right.
Oh.
I know that you all visited a military or
Just a
before
couple
maybe.
months ago.
And to share tips with spouses, which I thought was so wonderful. And they live such stressful, chaotic lives that is the kind of population who could really benefit from what you'll have to offer. And I was wondering if you had plans to do similar visits in the future.
It's a good yes. We've been thinking about like different ways we can be philanthropic and like give back in like our community and other people's communities. And one of the ways, like one of the things that kind of like touched us was how military spouses have to pick up and move like immediately all the time and without warning. And a lot of them live in military housing that's all very similar. So we thought there was this one, we did go to Camp Pendleton in San Diego too.
Right, our team did.
Yeah, our team did. They went in and gave a seminar in one of the homes and invited the whole neighborhood in and kind of like went room by room and showed, you know, different spaces and like how to possibly organize them with product. And it was great. And then they could all go and replicate it in their own homes. So we went to Fort Campbell in Kentucky just like a month ago or so and did a big presentation with them. They don't have the same kind of housing, so we kind of just like walked through in more general terms, but we really want to keep rolling that out and maybe do like one base. Wait, they keep telling us it's not a base. No, it was something else. We were like, so on base, and they were like
no.
And I don't remember what the word is.
But it was not base.
But it was like very clearly not base. But we want to do one like a quarter. We're also trying to come up with like a program to help like classrooms in underprivileged schools. And then we also are starting to work with St. Jude's Children's Hospital too. So
That's great.
yeah,
Thank you.
in our spare time.
Yes, over here.
Hi, I'm wondering what tips y'all have for organizing toys.
Get rid of them.
So, I mean, I've had really good success like organizing my husband's stuff by just getting rid of it when he goes away on business. But my toddler,
Cool, that's what you do.
yeah, but doing that for like my toddler during nap time, like he doesn't get the whole respecting the space and, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's your house. The toddler just lives there. And like when my children go to school or a play date or like anything where they're out of the house and I'm in the house, anyone who knows me can attest to this, I run through the house with a garbage bag and not throw out, but like donate, purge, whatever, anything.
Frequently go through the
Anything.
toys. Take them all out and
All the
just
time.
get rid of things that they're no longer playing with.
And what about weird shaped things?
Oh, that you shouldn't even own those. Like, it just,
Those are brutal.
those are bad. I feel like every now and then, first of all, if they're really playing with it, like if there's a moment in time where they're very into a dollhouse or something, allow that one item. Right now, my son is very into this like Hot Wheel garage, which is painful for me, but it's in one corner of his room. He plays with it, and the second he's not playing with it anymore, it's gonna go, you know? So like they get like one bulky item, and they get only enough of what, yeah, like fits in bins, and that's it. And the rest, they gone. Goodbye. Yeah.
It's a good one.
Hello, do you do consulting on real estate developments? Like, so as opposed to preventing a mess, like starting at the beginning so there's not a mess and best use to space?
We love when we get to work on like a build out as opposed to coming in after. And we have worked with everyone from developers, architects, builders, private clients who are just wanting to build their house and we do it that way. But we've done it in like all sorts of sizes. We've even helped stage a house like with, you know, that developers were building and like stage to show like not just the design of the pantry, but like how to actually organize it and what goes in it and all that stuff. I mean, the more like hands-on we can be in anything, I mean, we're pretty controlling, so.
So the best way would be to contact you through your Instagram page?
Yes.
Jamie at the Home Edit.
Jamie at thehomeedit.com. Just email her. She'll,
Okay.
I'm sure,
Thank
receive
you.
many later.
Can I ask 2 questions?
Sure.
Okay,
There are
first,
no rules here.
it seems like you have the greatest job ever for someone who enjoys snooping. Do you snoop?
I don't don't call it snooping.
No.
Like you have to.
You actually don't want to snoop.
It's very uncomfortable when you find something that you're like, ugh, like do I address this item because I'm supposed to be doing my job and do a thorough job, or do I pretend I didn't see it so that it's not uncomfortable later? So it's like, you kind of want to like be very thorough, but also with like one eye away in certain instances.
I think we don't like to snoop.
I don't want to, no. And we've had, we have just seen and gone through everything you can possibly imagine. And yeah, it's like not, no, it's not fun to find certain things.
So second question is, when you get into someone's house, where do you start? Like, do you have a place that you always start with first, or does it depend on the person's needs? Like,
It depends on the client. So usually the client calls us and says, I want to start with my bathroom.
But if they don't know, what we kind of suggest is like, tell us what stresses you out the most, and like, let's start there. Like, what is so frustrating for you, and if we can like relieve that bit of stress, then that's great. Sometimes they're like, I really want to do X, or like we get excited about doing like this, the shoe wall in the closet, but it's like the nursery is what's really stressing them out. So, they're the ones paying, so I guess, but that's usually how we do it.
Great, thanks.
Okay, so I actually have something just to add to that same idea, but like this is New York, obviously, like we live in tiny places compared to what we would like to be living in. Or I do, sorry, I don't want to speak for all of you. So first of all, starting with what stresses you out, so I get that part now, but like, what do you usually do when you go into somewhere? Like, do you do hourly, or you try to do the whole thing, or like, what do you try to do?
It's usually like one space a day.
Oh, okay.
That's like kind of, it depends.
It
really.
depends on the space and what their goals are and all that, but typically a space per day. So like the kitchen in one day.
Okay.
Right. Every house is different.
Right, and how much stuff they have and how much they're willing to work with you or not work with you.
Okay. And then secondly, how, like for small spaces, you said the 80% rule, so I think that's really good for me to try to like figure out when I go back home. But what can you give us some other like tips for really small spaces and like anything?
Think vertically too. Like sometimes you lose space on a shelf, because you're not using the top half of the shelf. If you're only stacking plates, this high, if there's something that you can add below the shelf to give you that second half of the shelf, that's a good way to go.
Yeah, go home and try and investigate any negative space in your entire apartment. And that could be like the back of a door, or back of the door organizer, or back of a cabinet, or an under shelf hanger. Anywhere where there's like something isn't, then try and add a piece of product to help maximize.
Okay, and one last piece if you don't mind. So,
No rules.
So people keep getting added to my family, like children. And so I just struggle, because I struggle with my own clothes and my own organization. So then these people keep coming. And like, I just, like, we're in the same apartment, and like my husband's stuff, like she was saying, like when he goes on
The
business
children are yours, right?
Yes.
I'm just making sure. I didn't know.
But like my transition with my mind is in like the same space, I'm like, well, we don't have another room to go to. So like, I just don't understand how to, like, when kids grow out of things, like how do you deal with that? And like,
You have to be quick to get rid of things, honestly. Like, you probably don't have a lot of bandwidth for sentimental storage, or something that you think maybe I'll use this one day, or maybe my kids will use it. Honestly, again, like whether it's a huge space or a small space, like you just have to accept the parameters of where you're living.
If you want to be organized, you really do have to like constantly respect the space and constantly go through it. We both go through our houses all the time, and you would think there would be nothing left, and well, there kind of isn't, but but we do. We go through it all the time.
Yeah, and you just have to be really judicious and like tough with yourself and with your kids. And how old are they?
1 and 3.
They don't know. Get rid of it.
You talk to my 3-year-old.
Yeah, get rid of it. It's fine.
Thank
They don't
you.
even know yet.
Hi. I have a very, I feel like, specific New York weird storage question.
Sure.
So I have decent storage, but it's all really oddly shaped. So like deep corner cabinets that are like high up. What tips do you have to make sure, because I either lose things or leave a lot of empty space, but not in like a pretty way?
Turntables.
Yeah, turntables, unless it's a closet. Joanna's idea is terrible. Turntables are the best way to deal with awkward corners, period, especially up high, because then you have like a rotation, so you have access to everything.
And some of them have walls, so if it's something tall, it won't like topple on your head.
Like dividers in it. Definitely turntables.
Okay, thank you.
We have a great one coming out.
So wait until May.
No, go ahead. You can get one now. You've got one. Just get another one in May.
Hi.
Hi.
Your hair looks fabulous.
Thank you. I assume you're talking to me because it's new.
I wanted to ask your thoughts on photo storage.
Like physical like printed photos?
Would you just have all these pictures. Do I waste time putting them in the books when I'm not going to put them in the books, or do you put them in, containers where I had those little collapsible things you put them in, and like, these are my January pictures, this is my February pictures.
No, I think that's too tough. That sets you up. I mean, for me, just get them in. Get them in something is better. You're not gonna look at them anyway and be like, oh, that was in March, You're just happy to have them in an album.
Right. Do you want them in an album? Is that even a goal?
Well, I don't know. I started to do like the Shutterfly for the year.
That's great.
Like, this is my year.
Yes.
That's
the way to go.
Highlights.
Yeah.
No one needs those photos. I mean, I literally.
Well, Clea threw out her wedding album.
I didn't even make a wedding album. I did throw out my wedding, like, framed. Well, I have one left, but whatever. My brother came over and there were like a stack of them in the garage, and he looked at my husband and was like, nothing's safe, is it? I mean, I just think that like creating a book of like.
If you can do the book going forward, I think that's the greatest thing.
And for all the old photos that you used to print, either put them just in a sentimental photo box, like an acid-free, storage box, label it photos, like year to year, whatever it is, and then, or you can ship them off and have them digitized and put in a hardcover book if you want.
Right. Okay.
But don't do it by month.
I think the low bar. Just get them in
Get it,
something,
right.
Otherwise, it's too much of it's going to be too hard. You have to be too perfection forward to like get anything done.
I always find like that's the last thing I have left to do because it feels a little overwhelming.
Yeah, that's why you just get them in. I would just get them in.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
We're here to take the guilt away.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you have any tips for people who are reluctant to get rid of things. Like, how do you identify or try to argue with your clients when they're trying not to get rid of things?
We don't argue. I mean, we tread lightly.
It's a hard balance. I think, first of all, it becomes about how much space you have, right? Like, it's hard for our clients who have these gigantic homes. If they have the space, it's hard for us to be like, no, you must get rid of it. For smaller places, I think that it's a little bit easier for us to make that argument. But we always think about any home with like different real estate throughout the house. So like, if it's something that's sentimental but you're not using or wearing, then put it in a sentimental box at the top of your closet or something like that, And like, you can move things throughout your house into like different zones. We call it like touch access. Like, if it's just old taxes or something, you don't need to have them taking up valuable space. If you want to keep something but not need it all the time. And then beyond that, like, give yourself a pass. Like, your mother-in-law will never check if you wore it. Like, your friends are never gonna be like, did you use that, tea towel I gave you? Like, no one cares. Like, let it go. If you don't love it, let it go. We are mean to people, I guess. I mean, that's the truth.
Hello. I just want to say I love Master of the Mess. I downloaded DirecTV just so I can watch it.
Wait, I forgot to tell you guys this. I totally forgot. It's being released on YouTube tomorrow morning, the whole season. Yeah.
That's so
I forgot.
exciting.
That was supposed to be a surprise. We're on the Today Show tomorrow morning, and they'll announce it. But anyway, that's
That's
everyone
awesome.
gets like breaking news. Yeah.
Are you coming out with another season?
We are going to be doing.
We don't know.
Let's not call it a second season. Let's call it a new season.
Okay.
And that's all I can tell you right now.
Interesting.
Okay. I'll anxiously await that.
But yes, unfortunately for us, TV seems to be in our future.
And will you ever debut a New York City apartment in your organizational?
Yes. I
would
am
love
very
to see
positive that will be happening.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Exciting.
Yes.
Hi. I'm an elementary school teacher, and so I'm always thinking about how to teach my kids to organize, because I love it. So do you have any tips of how either you help your kids or any tips of how I can teach my kids?
Use the
That's
rainbow.
why we love the rainbow.
So fun. You're in the most fun job.
Yeah. I mean, kids, it turns it into a game, I mean, our children, look who they're dealing with, but they are little organizing robots, Like, they know where things go. Even if they're lazy about it sometimes, they know where it goes.
Right.
And you just have to kind of set them up early and like for success. Again, same thing with purging too. Like, that's a really healthy habit.
Yeah.
And like the more you instruct your kids on how to live early in their life, they're gonna carry it forward.
And that's the only thing we can teach our children.
That's it. That's it. We rely on school and our husbands.
We'll
for
do the rest.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you so much to both of you for being here.